Hello my hydraulic hamsters, it's your boy Zeonic Blader, and in this video I will be ranking each Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra from worst to best. I'll be ranking them by their overall competitive viability in the Bakugan Pro game. But enough talk, let's get on with the list. Number 5. Ventus Aurelus Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra. A nice core lineup of Green Fist and Helix with a stat line of 503 and a fusion cost of 2, which bumps up the stats to 705. On the plus 600 minus 3 Helix core, this Bakugan is reaching 1300 B power, which is lower than the 1450 we want for a competitive Bakugan in base form. On the plus 5 fusion only Green Fist, this Bakugan hits for 10 damage, which while is the minimum we want for a damage wins play, that minimum is really for base form Bakugan. We expect Bakugan that need energy invested into it to be much better. Number 4. Pyrus Aurelus Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra. A poor core lineup of Shield and Green Fist and a stat line of 403 with a fusion cost of 4, bumping up the stats to 1005. On the plus 500 fusion only shield core, this Bakugan hits 1500 B power, and when on the plus 5 fusion only Green Fist, it reaches 10 damage. These stats are nicely balanced, however strong base form Bakugan tend to focus on one stat or the other, and because they don't have to use energy for that, they are much more preferred over a fusion Bakugan like this. Number 3. Darkus Aurelus Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra. An amazing core lineup of 2 Helix cores and a stat line of 406 with a fusion cost of 4. Because it has a damage rating of 6, it can actually hold its own as a high damage Bakugan, reaching 11 damage when on the minus 200 plus 5 Helix core, which could let it make up for it being 4 energy to use. When fused, this Bakugan's stats bump up to 907 with an added Shadow Strike effect, letting it reach 1500 B power on the plus 600 minus 3 Helix core without worrying for the reduction. While its fused state isn't anything special and its cost is probably a bit too high for its stats, because it's actually able to compete in base form, it takes this spot on the list. Number 2. Haos Aurelus Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra. Double Green Fist in its core lineup is always disappointing to see. This Bakugan has a stat line of 404 with an effect that lets it gain 400 B power when on a Green Fist, which is a lot like strong Green Fist Bakugan back in year 1. However, in its unfused state, it's not really threatening. It has a hefty fusion cost of 7 energy, which bumps up the stats to 1206, as well as increasing the effect bonus to 1200 B power when on a Green Fist, which lets this Bakugan hit a spicy 2400 B power. This is actually pretty solid. Unfortunately, its base form being so weak is really a hindrance to this Bakugan. However, if you really like this Bakugan, you could build a deck around it that lets it be able to core swap for a Fire Fist when in its base form to have a chance to win while waiting for that 7 energy to fuse. However, the unfortunate thing about high-cost fusion Bakugan is that they lose out on Divine Intervention, which is a 4-cost action card that lets you play an evolution for free if you land a reroll, which essentially makes cards like the 10-cost Ventus Diamond Falcon Ultra only 4 energy to play. That being said, because this is a fusion Bakugan, you don't have to worry about drawing an evolution, so it is a trade-off. Number 1. Aquos Aurelus Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra. A nice core lineup of Magic Shield and Green Fist with a stat line of 502 and a fusion cost of 2, which bumps up the stats to 704. When on the plus 800 fusion only Magic Shield, this Bakugan reaches a nice 1500 B power, which is over the 1450 we like to see for base form Bakugan. The thing is 50 B power worth 2 energy? If your opponent puts 2 energy worth of action cards into their 1450 base B power Bakugan, they can reach numbers much higher than 1500. So it is a risk, but this Bakugan is a lot more usable than others on this list. We are doing a little better on this list. Unfortunately, there's no must-have deck inclusions for the Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra line. But anyways, this has been Zeonic Blader with my worst to best video. What do you think? Do you agree or disagree? Let me know in the comment section below, and be sure to let me know your favorite Hydorous X Trhyno Ultra from Bakugan Armored Alliance. And if you like this video, hit the like button, or don't. I'm not the boss of you, but be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get updated whenever I upload. Until next time, see ya!